Yesterday I ate half my Subway meal. Oh my gosh, I still haven't eaten the rest. And then I got full really fast, even though I was hungry before that. And Amit said, yeah, do you remember that you had a smaller appetite when you were pregnant last time? And so you had to eat small portions throughout the day. And I was like, no, I don't remember that at all. But good that he remembers. So now I have to eat my Subways in 2 meals. Yesterday was our anniversary and my butt aches from the jabs. Both sides. The previous 2 jabs were just really painful. And so today I did another jab again. And I was happy it was finally a female doctor, but it was a really painful jab. And she jabbed a little bit high up. So I don't know if they're just going to keep going higher because the bottom parts are all sore. At some point, they're going to reach my waist. I hope not to be jabbed at my waist. Is this the reality? Is my butt going to hurt for the next at least 2 months? That'll be worth it. I'm just happy to be pregnant. First craving of the season. Kaya toast. I saw it from Eunice's story and I got it. It's finally at the point where the second line sort of comes out before the strip is finished being read. I think today will be the last day I test. And I've been testing because I just want to make sure the line is darkening before the ultrasound. Okay, I've shifted my first ultrasound date so many times. It was originally on the 4th, I guess, because that's 2 weeks after the beta test. But because the beta test was 1 day late after Diwali, I thought they would move it back to Monday, but they didn't. But they were really reluctant to move it to another date because of the 2-week thing. So I was really confused. But in the end, I asked for 6. They said okay, but they moved it to the 7th. Okay, I didn't mind sticking with 7th until I realized that Lyric will have a school closure on the 7th. Amit can't go for the ultrasound anyway. If Lyric was in school, then Amit could come for the ultrasound. Makes it a little hard now that she doesn't have school. So I asked them to shift it again. We were about to shift it to the 10th, which would be like a week late for the ultrasound. Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited to see the ultrasound. I also wanted to prioritize Lyric. I didn't think that a week of delay for the ultrasound would be very dire. It just means me taking medication for an extra week if it is not viable. But I trust that it will be viable, and so an ultrasound is just a formality. So yeah, we finally got them to shift it to the 3rd instead, which would be the original date if my beta test was also on a Monday. So 3rd November, first ultrasound. Now I have extra medication, but I have to shift a lot of things because the 3rd is also Lyric's first day of school. So it would mean accompanying her to school for the first day and then going for the ultrasound. I have been having more intense butt pains from the jabs. It started out with a patch near my tailbone that felt like a burn. I thought I got sunburn somewhere. I checked with some other ladies that were pregnant and doing the jabs, and they said that it was from the jabs. The more jabs I take, the larger that area, the larger the sensitive area is. And now it is almost covered my whole right bum. My left seems a lot more okay though, but it hurts to the point where if I carry Lyric up on my hip, her back leg hits my butt and it's really painful. Like a sharp pain sometimes goes down my butt. When she's asleep at night in the room, and if she cries and I run into the room, the shaking of my butt cheek also makes it hurt. It's like the skin is very taut, and if my butt jiggles, it tears some layer of skin or muscle that hurts it even more. It feels so fragile, like a spider web, and if you shake it a little bit and it tears, then it hurts. I'm really hoping that on Monday's ultrasound and blood test, my progesterone level is high enough for Dr. Hema to tell me to stop the jabs early. But I kinda doubt it since I'm still breastfeeding. The numbers I've asked about from other ladies are way higher than mine. And I also have a sty. It's almost week 6 and I still haven't felt any nausea, which is amazing. In the last pregnancy, I think the nausea came in around week 6. The difference is that I'm taking magnesium, and I hope that is really the solution to no nausea. I always look forward to Sundays for the jab because that's when my favorite doctor is working. But today when I went in the door, it was another doctor instead. And this guy was a young guy. Not that young people don't do it well, but he looked like he didn't know his stuff. Surely enough, that was the most excruciating jab so far. It felt like he took the jab out in a slant. It was really, really painful. And it's also on my more painful side right now, my right side. I'm in treatment room 2 now, doing the pessary. I just sent Lyric for her first day of school and I stayed there all the way until nap time, and then we took her out because I don't think she was ready for nap time there yet. It's an overwhelming first day. I hope I didn't stress myself out too much. Ultrasound is later. I think I'll have a blood test as well. We might see the baby for the first time. There's nothing.
5 weeks plus only, you're 28. But actually, when are you due for scan?
Today.
Today you're due for scan. Because according to what the LNP you gave me, it's only 5 weeks plus. 5 weeks plus you cannot see. You must be at least 6 weeks plus, then you can see.
But based on the beta, if it's a higher beta, would it be more?
Still wait for 6 weeks. Beta also show at least minimum 6 weeks you can see.
So there's nothing.
Can see lah. Cannot see the. You want the husband come in? Since it's there. Hold it. So there's a gestation sac inside, which means you're pregnant, huh?
Okay.
After the gestation sac, the yolk sac will form. This is the yolk sac. But no fetal pole.
Okay.
Can't see the fetal pole.
Mm.
The next stage is the fetal pole.
Okay.
So can't see the fetal pole yet. So I need to call you back.
Okay.
And 1 to 2 weeks time to get to see the heartbeat.
Okay.
But let the doctor decide. Are you seeing doctor today?
Yeah.
Okay.
You scared me a bit because the very first round I did, the first scan cannot see anything, then miscarried.
Oh, that's
So,
sad, huh?
yeah, so I was scared. Now also cannot see anything.
Okay.
The baby is alive. But it's too early to see the fetal pole, so I gotta come back for another scan in 1 or 2 weeks. But the baby's alive. Baby's there. There's something on the ultrasound. I'm so glad. I tried so hard not to be as careful as I was last time and do extra beta tests, and I didn't. But it was so nerve-wracking. But I waited, and the baby's there.
You don't have any spotting, bleeding or any issues, then we will advise you to rescan because some of the pregnancies may be slightly slow growing.
Okay.
But usually by 6 weeks we are able to see the embryo and the heartbeat. So very small chance of miscarriage also is there. Although we can't say which direction your pregnancy will go into at this point of time. So what we suggest is that we need to do a repeat ultrasound in about 2 weeks time to see whether pregnancy growing or not growing.
Okay.
Okay.
Would I do a blood test today to see if the beta
The
levels are...
beta HCG is it? Let me see when was the last time it's done. Usually after this no need.
Okay.
Because there's a very long gap, even if we do today, it wouldn't exactly tell us
Whether it's
at
doubling
one
properly.
value will not help us make much of information, will not
Okay.
help us get much of it. So
We can definitely see the pregnancy sac, but we can't see the embryo inside.
What are the reasons it could be like that?
It could be a slower implantation. Usually, IVF babies are on the spot because we exactly know how big they are,
Yeah.
etc. Unlike natural conception, when you do not know when the sperm is there. We can see the first thing, we can see the second one, but we can't see the baby and the fetal heart, so which means it's a bit slower. Most pregnancies, if they are a bit slow, don't do well. Okay, don't do well in the sense that sometimes if they're a bit delayed, they still carry on, but I've seen some of them miscarry.
Okay. And there's nothing to do to prevent it?
Starting to because your hormones should be quite good. You're asymptomatic, I presume. You're well,
Yeah.
relatively, right? That means your hormones, everything is okay, and everything is proper, is coming, but a bit slow. So it basically boils down to the embryo. Whether the embryo is just give me a minute.
No?
Yeah, it boils down to the embryo because we really can't quantify the embryo. So some embryos are not meant to be. Okay, and some embryos are not so good. So sometimes what happens is nature is smarter than us. So if the embryo is not a good embryo, nature does not let it survive after a while. So I think let's wait and see. Let's rescan you after a week and then take it from there. By
Can
next
I-
week, I definitely want to fetal heartbeat.
So if there's no fetal heartbeat, can I do expectant management?
Yes.
Okay. So while the ultrasound technician was quite positive that the scan might just be a bit early to see the heartbeat, Dr. Hema was quite pessimistic about it, and she said usually at week 6 we see the heartbeat. So it might be slow implantation, or otherwise it usually doesn't work out. And the phrasing she used was just very demoralizing. I guess her way is just to not give anyone false hope at all. Wow, my mood has completely changed from like an hour ago. But yeah, I collected the medicine so precisely that I will only have enough Organova until the morning of the day of the next scan. It also makes me question my lack of symptoms again. Like I thought I was quite happy to not have any nausea, but at the same time it could also mean that the pregnancy is not going to happen. That's why I'm not getting any symptoms. I think I just felt some liquid trickle down my nether regions. I think I'm miscarrying right now.
Use the left lane to take exit 15.
Because I also feel cramps. I looked down, it is blood. And I feel cramps, so I think I'm miscarrying right now. Well, on the bright side, I don't have to go do the jab again. I'm sure the doctor would say just continue the medication until you next see us, which is Monday, but I don't want to do it. I'm already mentally preparing myself for a fresh cycle. I'm gonna buy COQ10. I'll buy all the things again. So I've put a cloth diaper pre-fold below me so I don't stay in the car because I've already stayed through the panties and the skirt. My first thought of what to do next was actually I have to pump patrol first. So I've done that. I'm gonna go home and change first instead of staining everything else. I don't want to tell Amit yet because I want him to focus on lyric in school, and I'm not sure if I should go to the hospital by myself or wait for him. But if I wait for him, I might have to do it tomorrow or pay extra for after hours because school would probably end around 3 today. He didn't top up the cash card and I don't have the app to top up the cash card or have another cash card. So I need to figure that out. I guess I'll figure that out while I go home and change. But I think I might go to the hospital by myself to get a scan because that seems like the best use of time. But I'm also wondering, what is the point of the scan if it's just for me to feel at peace, to know what's going on? I mean, like, does it make a difference if I go for the scan or not compared to my scan next week? Because if they're gonna tell me today that I lost the baby, then to stop taking medication, that makes sense. If they tell me the baby's still alive and to continue taking medication, okay, I guess I do see a point in going. But if I was to continue taking medication either way, would it make a difference if I go for the scan today? I don't know, it just seems a bit excessive to do 2 scans in 2 days. And I also don't want to do the whole long wait again. And I just don't want any of this to affect Lyric, you know? Like, she can know that I'm sad. It's a sad thing, but I don't want it to affect her first week of school. That's why I don't want to tell him yet. I want him to be focused there. I don't think it's worth pulling Lyric out on her second day of school for. He might beg to differ, but this is currently my choice. I'm not even saying that with conviction. But it's whether I can handle this news alone right now first, right? So I think I'll handle it alone for now. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so I cannot go to the hospital yet because I needed to figure out how to top up the cash card. Then I tried to top up the cash card at the car park of home, but I don't have my physical cards because my wallet is in the stroller in the preschool. I was downloading a net app trying to top it up, but I also don't have my physical cards memorized, so I can't do the transaction, I can't top up the card. And then I decided to go home. Then I realized my husky is also in the stroller, so I can't go home. So I just went to BSC to borrow a pad from a lady. I'm going to the CC to change, and then I'll probably just cab to the hospital because that's the only thing I can do now. I've been waiting here for over an hour, and I've just been informed that I have to wait a little more because the doctor is manning many stations, including the labour ward, and someone isn't doing so well in labour. But does that mean I'm waiting for someone to finish labouring? Couldn't that take days?
I think we do see very similar findings from yesterday. Let me just show you. This is your pregnancy sac. If I zoom out, this is your womb here. You can see pregnancy sac over here.
Yeah.
Zooming in here. Yeah, that's the yolk sac lah. But I don't see any fetal pole. I don't see any fetal heart rate yet,
Okay.
which is quite consistent with where we were yesterday as well.
It wouldn't just pop up overnight, right?
Shouldn't. I mean, we do expect to not see that soon. It is possible, but quite unlikely, I would say.
Oh, but Dr. Hema said we should have seen those things already.
Usually, but I wouldn't say that if yesterday you don't see, I don't think today you will be able to see it. But if it's 1 week, then probably you might see something different.
Okay. So it's a threatened miscarriage.
It's not a threatened miscarriage, it's a pregnancy of unknown viability.
Sorry? Again?
Pregnancy of unknown viability.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't see the fetal heart rate yet. So we can't really tell whether how this pregnancy will progress.
Yeah. But how do you diagnose a threatened miscarriage?
A threatened miscarriage only when you see a fetal heart rate first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The scan shows the same thing as yesterday. No change from yesterday, which is good. It's neutral. That means it's not a confirmed miscarriage. And it took a while, but they've ordered me a blood test for progesterone, which I wanted to take yesterday, but they've ordered blood test, so now I gotta take the blood test and then I can go home. Let's hope I don't have to come back tomorrow for additional progesterone. Okay, I'm currently doing my pessary in the specimen collection room. Everyone else is busy and there's no beds available. And also I wanted to do the pessary here so I could also get my jab done at the same time, because it's gonna be too late if I travel to my normal clinic to do it. So not only do I have to pay it in cash instead of CTC vouchers, but I also have to just be in the specimen room. And she also said my womb is closed or something, which is good, because if it's open then my body is preparing for a miscarriage. My body is not preparing for a miscarriage yet. I've also just been in the same stained outfit since the morning. My skirt is stained, my panties are stained. There's a very bloody cloth pad and cloth diaper insert in the car, and I just feel gross. So I just called care because I didn't know what time they were gonna get back to me, and if I have to do the jab again today, then I would like to know sooner rather than later. And then they called me back and she said, yes, let's do the jab daily. You can come and collect the medication in the afternoon. Daily jabs! It's a lot of money, a lot of progesterone. I'll do it for the baby. I just went to the hospital to get more medication, to do daily jabs until my next appointment, and to also do the pessary there. I wanted to get my jab done there today as well, but I think I have a bit of time to go home and do it before picking Lyric and Amit up. And it's so sad that I hope to be blessed with the opportunity to continue daily jabs until week 12. The things I do to be pregnant. Last night, I was toying with the idea of doing the jabs myself because Juliet said that she could do it for me if I went overseas with her. Then I wondered if it was possible. So I googled some tutorials, read some articles. I think it is possible. I just need to get a syringe with an 18 gauge and a 22 gauge needle to suck the medicine out. I've already done the whole process of sucking the medicine out and then preparing it for my body because of the simulation phase of IVF. So that part I have down. It's just that instead of jabbing the front, I'm jabbing my back. And so I've also tried to reach my bum, and I can with both hands. So it seems doable. So last night after going down that rabbit hole, I decided to buy the needles. But they will only arrive next week. So for now, I'll still be going to the doctor. And then next week, I will try possibly jabbing myself. Because I don't want to go to the clinic every day if I have to do daily jabs. And I don't want that to be what hinders me from going overseas as well. If I am blessed enough to be able to do the jabs after next week, then I'll do it. Amit has bought Thai fan for me. There's vegetable and there's meat. And I gagged at the vegetable. A version has begun. It smells like a wet market, the vegetable, like raw fish. And I just could not do it, so I'm just eating the meat, unfortunately. Ahmed wasn't feeling well today, so I brought Lyric to the clinic to get the jab, and it was my favorite doctor, who usually doesn't give me painful jabs, but because Lyric was moving at that point, the jab was painful. I waited 2 weeks to see this doctor and the jab was painful. And then also, I have a nosebleed now. My nose was also bleeding yesterday morning. And I've had gastric pains for the past few days. Like, it's so painful. It feels worse than recovering from birth. So it's been a terrible few days. Tomorrow will be follow-up ultrasound, and I really hope all these daily jabs have been worth it. Okay, I've had 3 nosebleeds in 2 days. ChatGPT says I should keep the tissues and go to the doctor immediately. I just woke up so nauseous. And I'm eating a Braggy Pop drop right now. I really hope that it's because I'm not pregnant and that there's a heartbeat. I will be so devastated if I'm not pregnant but it's not viable. Is that possible? I would have wanted to do expectant management, but if the expectant management is gonna continue with this kind of nausea, then maybe I need to just take the pill. I ended up puking yesterday and I tried to get myself a cracker and I ate like half of it. Half a cracker. And this morning I woke up with it feels like a fever. How am I gonna send her to school?
At the moment, we still need to see whether there's any growth between the last scan until now. Huh? Any bleeding?
There was bleeding last Tuesday.
Okay, that's why you came to EPU.
Yeah.
Okay. Gestational sac is here. This is the yolk sac that you saw the last time. Currently, that's all I can see.
Oh. So still no fetal bone.
I don't see a very definite fetal bone. Maybe it's this one. Slightly whitish compared to the rest of it. Slightly whitish, just sitting on here. But I'm not very sure. Okay, you see what your doctor say. Okay.
So I nearly fainted twice while waiting for the doctor for the ultrasound. I was feeling really faint the whole morning. Barely could get up. Finally got up to go to pick Lyric up from school and then came to SGH. There were no seats at the food court, so we sat outside on a bench. And over there, Lyric was sitting on me and Amit was feeding her. And Amit's arms were also dying from taking care of her because we were both not well. Then I felt like puking, so I told him to take her off me. Apparently my lips went really pale. I thought I was gonna puke, but instead I almost fainted. And he was holding my neck, and Lyric was kind of unsure what's going on, and I was trying to tell Amit, hold my neck, get help, say help, and someone around us should help. It's a hospital after all. And there were 2 Filipino ladies sitting on a bench next to us, so they came to help hold my head up while Amit went to ONG. And then while looking like I was gonna die there, another set of doctors or nurses came over and asked if I need a wheelchair or something. So ONG also brought me a wheelchair. I had 2 wheelchairs. I sat on one, we went back to ONG instead of A&E, like the random other doctor asked. He didn't know my situation, so we went back to ONG. And the nurses there were acting like everything is normal. So I guess this is what the first trimester usually is like. Even though the symptoms seem kind of unrelated to the pregnancy. The nosebleed, the gastric, the fever. But the vomiting part seemed very normal for first trimester. Because that's what they were all telling me. Telling me to eat this plain thing and drink some warm Milo or something. So I did that. I ate an oat cracker and some Milo. I was just waiting outside for the scan. I felt like I needed to lay my head down. It was really hard to keep my head up. So while Amit tried to help me ask to be moved somewhere to lie down, I nearly fainted again. That same feeling came, and then this time instead I puked all my Milo out. Why do I try eating? I took so long to finish that. And then they moved me to room 20 in the OGC to rest. And then we had a little sleep, a little nap there because we were waiting for the scan, and the doctor went in for the scan, and the ultrasound tech looked like something was amiss. He just kept saying, wait for your doctor to tell you what's up. So then we went back to the room to take a nap, and I was really like, I think it's a no-go. So we went to see Dr. Hema, and she said that usually pregnancies like this don't proceed, and because it's a singleton, we have the option to terminate. But usually in twin pregnancies, one of them is slow growing and then they just have to wait and see what happens, and sometimes it goes up to the 7th or 8th month, but then it dies off there. I for sure don't want to wait 7 or 8 months to find out that I'm not going to give birth to a baby. So I would rather stop my medication right now. And as pessimistic as Dr. Hema is, she still told me to give it 1 more week because it's an IVF pregnancy. So I really want to try it, but I don't think I can do the jabs anymore. I feel too terrible to continue the jabs. And I wanted to ask for the pill to terminate the pregnancy. But she said give it 1 more week and we'll come back next week for a scan. And as we went out, I started thinking more about it. And I'm thinking even if the scan shows a heartbeat, it's still going to be slow. And I don't want to worry the whole pregnancy that it's going to be slow. I would rather end it now before there's a heartbeat. As painful as it is, as many jabs as I've taken to get to this point, I don't think I want to continue it if there hasn't been a case of a live birth. And maybe I'll take a break after this, after seeing me and Amit's bodies go through so much while taking care of Lyric at this point in our lives. Almost not being able to drive home ourselves. In fact, we asked sister to come and pick us up because we are both in no state to drive. His eyes are both red, might be an infection or something, and he's having a sore throat. He has no voice, and I've been fainting all day. I don't feel like a good mother or wife if I still want another pregnancy. I feel like we should take a break, because not being able to take care of Lyric this morning was the most heartbreaking thing ever. And I don't think I can do that now while we don't have enough support yet. I'm gonna stop my medication. I'm not gonna wait for a week. I don't think it's worth it. And I hope I feel better and not faint anymore tomorrow, because Amit is so stretched. He really needs my help. I'm finally home and lying on my bed to rest. Amit has brought Lyric down to the playground with his sister, and I've just asked Amit to steam a second bowl of broccoli and carrot for me. Just plain broccoli and carrot, because that's the only thing that I seem to be keeping down. At least it's healthier than crackers though. I'm supposed to go back to the office tomorrow, and I'm quite relieved that I might be able to, or maybe even on Wednesday. Because this morning when I still felt so terrible, I was wondering whether I will lose my job, because I might have to take leave for a first trimester again and just not be as present at work as my boss wants me to be. So maybe this is a good thing. I've already thought of the future. Maybe a break is good. I've always wanted to have my 2 kids close to each other so that I can get my body back, but it's not about my body, it's not what's best for Lyric. If I can't take care of her while she still needs me to take care of her, then it's selfish of me. Maybe this was the wake-up call I needed. Mama's not feeling well. Earlier when I told Dr. Hema about my symptoms, the gastric last week and the 2 nosebleeds and the fever and the nausea and vomiting and the 2 fainting spells, she just said it's probably unrelated, which in the moment sounds like an appropriate response, but then I realized we kind of just ignored everything that happened. Even if it's unrelated to the pregnancy, that still all happened to me. And what do I do about that? Is there a problem I need to look into? Why am I not getting any medical attention for that? Sort of tell the doctor on white coat this morning as well, but he also just gave me fever meds. And is everyone downplaying it because I'm pregnant and they think most of the symptoms are just from the pregnancy?
Something went wrong that we cannot solve. Now we wait for it to dissolve so we can try again and again and say goodbye to our efforts in vain. How much more of this can we take? How many nights do we lie awake without a clue on how to move on from this cruel path we didn't choose to be on? So please don't tell me that my clock is ticking, or that good things come to those who wait. It belittles my struggles, my pain, my heartache, and does nothing to change my fate. Don't tell me that my clock is ticking, or that good things come to those who